is rolling in. It isn't time to cry. We traveled all around the world to see the meaning of our lives.
Well, good evening, subscribers and viewers of the Tradesman Channel. Today marks the first full year since I put my first upload on YouTube. We put over 170 videos out since then. We've covered a lot of territory. I hope we've improved as we've gone along, make them a little easier to watch. I went back here recently and looked at some of the old videos and I thought, geez, how the hell can anybody sit here and watch this shit? Just boring, drawn out, you know the deal, but I guess that's just me and my preferences. I kind of like the way we've been doing them here the last few months. But anyway, 1 year. So as of this moment, in our first year on YouTube, we're at 5,130 subscribers, and I want to thank all of you who have subscribed. I'm pretty happy with that number for the first year. Some may think that's a small number, but to me that's a huge number. And reason being why that's such a big number for me is there's so much competition on YouTube with the amount of people uploading every day. It's just huge competition. It's a lot harder now to grow a channel than it was, say, 4 or 5 years ago when there wasn't nearly as much competition for your attention. Remember, this whole world is geared, big business, to get your attention. So, and I'm not much different. We just try to stay away from goofy titles. I may put a goofy one on this. I doubt it though. But anyway, I thought as part of our first year, little anniversary video here, that thought maybe we would revive an old project from an early video filmed in my shitty little dingy shop, the dungeon or whatever the hell you want to call it. So this project was going to wait until the barn was finished because I want to concentrate on the barn. Weather being what it is, it's below zero again. It's really nasty out. We had a good thaw, but the rain was just pouring the entire time, so I couldn't do much. And rather than do 20 parts to fix one thing on the timber frame, this will be the first video where I'm actually filming over multiple days and gonna put the clips together that way, just so I can get that repair to you guys all in one shot rather than breaking it up into 20 videos. That's gonna get boring for you to watch after a while. And it's gonna get a little bit boring for me to make them that way. I'd rather just give it to you all in one go. So, behind me, as you can see in the opening, we have our sawdust burner that we started about a year ago now. That was one of my real early videos, maybe, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 videos in. I can't remember what number video was, but that video was called Free Heat for the Woodworker. And the reason we say that, if you're a woodworker, you're going to have a lot of sawdust in your shop. A lot of it's going to be from kiln dried or at least air dried lumber, so you're going to have good dry sawdust. What do most woodworkers do with their sawdust? It goes in a bag, goes to the dump, or it goes in their garden. Well, I'm always looking for sources of heat. I'm always looking to experiment. I love to experiment around with different things, see what can make work. That's why we made a coal grate to try it out, see if we would like coal. So this is another one along those lines. I've watched a few videos, stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. I think we could figure this out. So what we're going to do, a sawdust burner, the style I'm building it, comprises of an outer shell, which is going to be the gray steel tank I have cut behind me. It's going to be an inner shell, and that's going to be the green 55-gallon drum we have there. And that drum's a little beat up. I just yanked it out of the tall grass near our shop here a few minutes ago because, funny story, I'll tell you at the end of the video why I don't have the good 55-gallon drum anymore. But anyway, so you're looking at a barrel within a barrel. It works exactly like a rocket heater does, or a rocket stove, except the riser that you're using to burn in is going to actually be the sawdust. So what you do is you get your inner barrel in there, you put a piece of PVC pipe down it. There's going to be a hole in the bottom. We'll cover more of that as we go. There'll be a hole in the bottom. You stick that pipe down there, you dump your sawdust in, you pack it around really well, you pull the pipe, and you should have a nice round hole all the way up through your sawdust. And what that'll do, that'll burn in there, and the way a rocket stove works, it actually creates like a chimney fire, so you're burning off pretty much all the combustibles that you can. It's going to hit the top, It's going to come down around the sides, and the exhaust port for these are really low. So it's kind of a neat thing. I've always been fascinated with rocket stoves, stuff like that. You know, I built one out of an old fire extinguisher one time. Looked like a friggin' party bong or something, but it worked really well. Not as a bong though, you know. But anyway, so that's where we're at. We're going to try this out. We're going to see if it works. We've got some welding to do. We have a little bit of farm and fabrication to do. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you on the other side.
Another wheel is rolling in. It isn't time to cry. We traveled all around the world to see the meaning of our lives. I watch you coming through the door. You fill the room with joy. I could be a honey pie and save the world on the side just to see you smile. I would rather be with you, even if it means I'm through chasing glory, fame, and wealth. I would not be by myself. I would rather be with you, even if it means I'm through.
So I'll tell you a little story of why we're using this, well, let's just call it a piece of shit 55-gallon drum that's bent all to hell. And I'll tell you why we're using this. I had a beautiful 55-gallon drum for this project set aside. A gorgeous 55-gallon drum. No dings in it, no dents, no rust, just beautiful. Well, so I'm on my way down here last night. I had to head out to my uncle's house about 40 miles away in an ice storm type condition and real bad winter shit coming in. So I'm going down the road. I get 30 miles from home. I'm in the city here, or what we call a city around here, and I check my rear view mirror and I got nothing in the back of my truck. So I freak out. I turn around. I drove up and down probably 25-30 miles stretch of road 2 or 3 times last night in freezing rain and everything else. And anyway, I go out this morning out to my uncle's house again to check his furnace and all that, because he's back in the hospital again, of course. But at least they found the source of the infection this time, so that's a good thing. But anyway, I'm going through the middle of the public square in this. This is Watertown, New York, so they get a little square here. Anyway, I'm going through the square, and I look over to my right, and there's my sawdust burner sitting on the sidewalk right off the side of the road, right in the middle of the damn city. And I tell you what, I was so happy. It got dinged up a little bit, not too bad. The 4-inch pipe we're going to use for our air intake and our exhaust, that got dinged up pretty good, but all in all, we can deal with it. But I tell you what happened was the freezing rain made my tailgate latch. I thought it was latched good. I gave a tug on it before I left the house, and it wasn't latched well enough. So I was going up a hill, and I drive stick shift, and the hill's about like this. So, and I had somebody right on my bumper at a red light. So I gave it juice pretty quick, and it must have been enough to jostle that tailgate open. And I really hope the vehicle behind me, they must have reacted fast, because I didn't even hear any of it go off. Shit, man. So that's my excuse for using this garbage 55-gallon drum we have here. But this will not be the permanent interior burn chamber on this. That part that goes on the inside that drum, that is a sacrificial part. You know it's only going to last so many seasons. You probably have to replace it every year. Quite a bit of heat on that once it gets burning. But I notice people build a lot of these things with two 55-gallon drums, one inside of another, and I tell you what, I just plain don't trust that. That scares me to do something like that, because I just don't trust it. But anyway, I gotta weld this to the, I'm gonna weld this inner chamber. We cut the lid off of it a few minutes ago, or we cut the bottom off of it, and then I sliced down the seam on this 55-gallon drum. We rolled it together, we tack welded it, we screwed it, and what I need to do now is weld it onto that bottom again, because that bottom actually fits perfectly inside that drum without much around the outside. So that's perfect, that's what we want. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 1/2-inch threaded rod and I'm going to go up through that bottom. I'm going to make it adjustable, because I'm terrible at guesstimating the height inside this thing. The bottom's round and the top's round, so it makes it kind of difficult to figure that out. But anyway, getting late here again, but we're going to keep going for a little bit. I'd like to give you guys something just a little bit more than cutting up a 55-gallon drum and all that good stuff. It's been so long since I've been on this project. I feel like we're starting all over again from day one. So anyway, we're going to keep going. Stay tuned. Probably going to be a little bit of a long one tonight.
It was always on fire, our house, our dreams. We were dancing on a wire, reckless it seemed. We found holes in these walls, we like what we saw. Seems so strong until it falls, the final straw. Oh, I never felt like this before. When I was trapped, you showed an open door.
Now, when this thing took its trip out of the back of the truck, it landed right there and it friggin' bent that up. I'm gonna have to heat that, bend it back, just so we can get the lid to fit on it. Now, we're gonna keep going. I've got to put legs on this barrel on the inside, lift that out, and I guess we'll just go from there.
Mistakes, real love, we thought. But it was always on fire, our house, our dreams. We were dancing on a wire, reckless it seemed. I never felt like this before. When I was trapped, you showed an open door.
Alright, here's what she looks like on the inside. We just have that 55-gallon drum that we modified, slipped in there. And that's the groove I made for our rope gasket. I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to cut this down shorter. That thing's bent. That lid used to fit perfectly, but that trip out of the truck really screwed it up. Well, you can see we got our work cut out for us to finish this thing. Won't be too bad though. I did want to get a little farther on it tonight than we did, but so I think what I'm going to do, like I just said, I think I'm going to cut this thing down another probably 6-10 inches. I know that's quite a spread, right? But I'm going to cut it down, make a new gasket groove in here. Reason being, when this fell out of the truck, she got dinged up and bent. Now it's out around a little bit on the top. Plus, that barrel's so much shorter than this, I'm wasting a lot of space in this stove, so I think we'll cut it down. Now this 55-gallon drum inside of it, I mean, now she's probably like a, we'll say a 30-gallon drum, probably a little bit more. We didn't reduce it down that much. So It has to be about 2 inches from the top, from the lid. So when that lid closes down, I need about a 2-inch gap in there. And also the front of the barrel should be notched out so the flue is going to be on the back, but it's going to be low. And once that thing gets drafting good, we don't want it just to pull all the heat over the back of the barrel and shortest path, you know, to the flue. We want it to go out the front and wash around the tank here, the stove we'll call it. So in order to do that, we kind of have to have it sealed up a little bit on the back side of the top of the inner barrel against the lid, and then that'll pull those exhaust gases down. Now, what's neat about a rocket type stove, you know, a lot of people are trying different ways to try to find out, okay, how can we make them burn longer? It's already been proven they're a very efficient burn. They burn off pretty much all of the combustibles, but they're also really high temperatures in there because it acts like a chimney fire. That smoke and everything burns off before it gets out of the, pretty much burns off before it gets out of the riser. That's the whole idea. The Sawdust is going to be a little bit different because you're actually doing your solid fuels in the barrel. That's acting as your riser. So long story short, you have to do a few things a little bit differently and hope it works. But anyway, if you can't tell, I'm getting a little tired. I probably got about 2 hours worth of cleanup here because I hoed my van out today while I was here, and well, it was bad. It was real bad. So I got a lot of shit here to pick up. I can't leave the boss's shop in ruins or I won't be allowed to use it. But anyway, thanks again everybody for a wonderful year. It's been a lot of fun. We're going to keep going as soon as the weather breaks and, you know, we can get back to the main project a little bit more. We will be back to daily uploads as soon as I can. I actually really miss putting them up every day because I miss the interaction with you folks and all that. But anyway, it's been an awesome year. We're going to keep going. We'll keep this channel going as long as I have ideas and stuff I want to do. And to be honest with you, with a farm, a wood shop, a forge, and everything else, there's going to be no shortage of things to do on this channel. So anyway, thanks for watching everybody. I will catch you on the next one.
He was born by the roadside in a broken down carriage, came into life on the run, found on the doorstep of a nearby orphanage, no one saw, no one saw. You'll never know him, he is the forgotten, his name is the word undone. You'll never know him, he is the forgotten, no one's son, no one's son. She had been born there in St. Bernadette, like brother and sister they were. Out of the two, she was always the strongest. No one's daughter, no one's daughter. You'll never know her, she is the